Welcome to a new video series that I've decided to create since our Supreme Scrublord many miles away only posts once a fucking year, and there are a metric fuck ton of vehicles in this shitty game, so sit back, grab some hot dogs, because we're going to talk about the first Sherman tank that can actually kill something from beyond arm's reach. Now roll that shitty intro I got off of Google, because I can't make my own. The M4A1 76W is what you get when you want the power of the American 76mm gun without the slow turret rotation of the M10 tank destroyer, nor the uncontrollable up tiers versus King Tigers and IS-2 1944 of the M18 Hellcat. Going over the trifecta of tank design, mobility, firepower, and armor, the M4A1 is roughly equal in all areas with the exception of the armor, which is a piss poor 63mm at its thickest at the front, and an even worse 38mm on the sides and relieving it vulnerable to even 20mm HVAP belts from anti-air units. The 5-man crew allows you to sometimes take more than one shot without lighting up faster than a Zippo lighter, while the add-on track armor does increase your chances versus an SPAAG from the side. It only does so much to improve the lack of armor. One thing this Sherman has over the previous M4A1 with the 75mm is the addition of wet storage racks that significantly reduce the chance of your ammo being blown up in one hit. The ammo location was also changed from the side of the hull to below the turret, further increasing the chance of survival should someone be dumb enough to go for your ammo, and not your crew. It should be noted that with the larger shell size and changed ammo rack location, that the M4A1 76W has 19 less rounds of ammunition than the 75mm M4A1. With a maximum 71 shells to the 90 shells on the 75mm respectively. Mobility wise, the M4A1 is going to be slower than Gauge in fixing the top tier compression when stock, and a decent speedy boy when fully spaded with a top speed of about 23 miles per hour, thanks to its impressive 14 horsepower per ton, due to its engine pushing this 32.7 ton tank with 460 horses. Now before you go along thinking this is an M18 with more than paper armor, remember that the reverse speed is a whopping 3 miles per hour, and won't save your ass if you royally fuck up. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes, or really since this is America we are talking about, the 76mm hot dog launcher. For the majority of the time, you will only need the stock M60 to a PHE shell, as the explosive filler one-shots almost anything it penetrates.
Now that's a lot of damage!
And because it has a capped ballistic cap, it does better than the equally destructive M79 solid shot when firing at sloped armor, especially the sloped armor on Soviet tanks. Also a major advantage of this gun is that it has a stabilizer that is greatly effective when firing from a short stop. The recommended loadout consists of 15 to 20 PHE shells, followed by 5 to 10 armor piercing and smoke shells. Since the ammo is located in the hull, ammo rack locations are relatively unaffected by the number of ammo brought into battle, so if you wanted to be a true Zippo lighter then bring all 71 shells for when you feel like going full Rambo. For secondary firepower you are equipped with a 7.62mm machine gun mounted coaxially with the main hot dog launcher, as well as an anti-everything else 50 caliber mounted on top the commander's cupola, which comes in handy when the Wehrmacht decides to try and fuck up your day with a combination of speedy boy pack wagons and hardened sausage launching quackers. Now that the boring stats are out of the way, how the hell do you use this thing in combat? The short answer is to be both cautious and aggressive at the same time. When fighting on city maps, stick to the sides of buildings where you won't be flanked. Don't try to sit back and snipe because a 76mm performs best at short to medium ranges. Also don't forget that you have one of the fastest firing guns at your BR range, so use that to your advantage by waiting for an enemy to miss a shot and then moving in to take them out while they're reloading. When fighting long range maps, unless you can somehow close the distance, you might as well kiss your ass goodbye as your shots bounce harmlessly off enemy armor and they send you back to the hangar. The favorite food of the M4A1 is the Panzer IVs and early T-34s, with their weak armor meaning nothing to your fast firing hot dogs. But you should be wary as they can kill you almost as easy as you can kill them. When fighting German Tiger H&E, try and catch them when they aren't angled towards you, and aim for the middle of their frontal plate, as that almost always one-shots the Tiger. If he is angled, try and get the cupola, and then rush them with your fast-firing gun with its stabilizer. That gives a significant edge with low speed or short stop firing. Now to kill a Panther, you absolutely need to hit the corner edge of the turret or the cupola to guarantee the most damage. The frontal plate will simply bounce off your hot dogs and the gun mantlet is too trolly to reliably penetrate even with larger caliber guns. Now we're fighting Stalin's horde of T-34s. Most of the time you should be able to go through the hull and turret no problem, but with the 85mm equipped models, it is safer to aim for that giant turret ring of theirs and make them suffer for it. To kill a KV heavy tank, use the same tactic as when fighting a German Panther tank. It is best to flank and spank any IS-2 you come across as the front armor is trolly and the turret cheeks won't always cooperate. However, if you are unfortunate enough to come across the ultra-rare KV-220, it is best to simply go as far away from that monstrosity as you can, and pray that some other part of your team has a gun big enough to take on that behemoth. Now let's recap. The M4A1 76W is a 4.7 battle rating hot dog launching democracy spreading machine that does best when paired with other vehicles of similar firepower and / better armor to take shots for you. Its upgraded 76mm gun allows you to take on opponents much easier than the 75mm Shermans, while being more mobile than the heavier armored jumbo Sherman. It is best at short to medium range brawls where you use the fast reload and stabilizer to make quick work of low tier enemy vehicles. And because it is a medium tank, you can respawn in a P-47 to deliver even more freedom and democracy from the air with less effort than if you took the jumbo Sherman as a first spawn. Now all that's left for you to do is to take your newfound seal clubber and show the world just how you can make what is considered a bad tank into an absolute unit.